Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, many thanks, first of all, to the organizers of Global Town Hall for inviting me to provide the European Union view on the post-19 world order. COVID-19 has pushed the world into the worst and most global crisis since the Second World War, affecting all aspects of life with consequences for health, economic, and security, triggering social stress and political unrest. The crisis has accelerated pre-existing trends, such as rising inequalities and geopolitical tensions, and it has become a commonplace that the pandemic is reshaping the world. But in what form and how different the world will become will depend on the choices we will make. Looking back to the beginning of the pandemic, we saw a tendency to turn inward, a tendency that regularly comes with crisis. But as European Union, we realized quickly that COVID-19 could only be defeated with a global approach and a cross-border coordination. Internally, our reaction and coordinating was quite bumpy at the very beginning. Member states were inclined to let everyone fend for themselves. But genuine acts of solidarity soon followed, with many countries taking patience from other member states and sending emergency equipment to those most in need. In the summer, European Union's leaders agreed on an unprecedented 1.8 trillion, and we call it Next Generation European Union Package. For the first time, this package was agreed to issue large-scale common debt and allow fiscal transfers to cope with the economic impact of the pandemic and to prepare funding a green transition and securing Europe's digital future. We want to build a digital and green future. And while fighting the virus and its consequences at home, Europe, the institutions and the member states also step up efforts to support partner countries in the fight against the pandemic, in what we call Team Europe. The European Union and its member states help together our partners to respond to the immediate health crisis, to strengthen health and sanitation systems, and to mitigate social and economic consequences. Our action is based on a key recognition. No one will be safe until everyone is safe, and a pandemic world needs multilateral solutions. We have lived by this motto, even when others were going alone. And we will continue doing so at the moment when we hear encouraging news on the vaccination front. But to benefit from promising achievements, we must avoid what we call vaccine nationalism and vaccine diplomacy. Like the mass diplomacy of early 2020, when we started using this expression that was quite controversial at that moment. But now some countries may link access to much-needed medical treatment to political compliance. The European Union will insist on the opposite approach. Vaccines must be treated as a global public good and distributed based on medical needs. Ladies and gentlemen, in times of COVID-19, Europe is determined to develop a stronger partnership and cooperation with multilateral actors at global, regional, and national levels. But the European Union cannot be multilateral alone. We see like-minded countries in Asia as key partners for Europe to design the rules-based international order of the future, because we share together a desire to take our future in our own hands and to be a player and not a playground in a world of increasing geopolitical competition. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a fruitful debate.